Having trouble getting started on that project? In this video, we look at 5 key areas to help you get started at anything. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Alex, and on this channel we focus on improving human performance to help you live healthier, wealthier, happier, and more productive lives. It's never been easier to start a business, connect with an audience, or develop yourself as an individual. Digital tools, access to information, and walkthrough examples are abundant and delivered across every medium like no other time in human history. So why then is it so easy to put things off, dream about what could have happened, or wistfully complain about missed opportunities? From my first day at medical school, it took me 10 years to be able to lead an operative team performing a hip replacement. Alongside this, I also built 3 successful businesses by teaching myself everything from how to code, to how to hire a team, to how to develop a winning company culture so that the team was as aligned to the mission as I was. And I'm still learning all of these things in addition to learning guitar, upping my burpee count, and practicing my Japanese language skills. This isn't a video about how to form successful habits, stay motivated, or maximize your learning. Those are incoming, by the way. This is a laser-focused look at how to get started at anything and understand what is holding you back. Since, as we know from the anecdote, the first step is always the hardest. And as we also know, Newton's first law of motion says, objects at rest tend to stay at rest. We're going to cover off my top 5 tips for how to get started at anything. Homeostasis is defined as any self-regulating process by which biological systems tend to maintain stability while adjusting conditions that are optimal for survival. As humans, our physiological feedback loops, such as the fight or flight response to danger, actually help keep us safe, comfortable, and pain-free. While this worked great for cave people, hunting for food in the wild, and keeps you safe today from physical threats, feedback loops, combined with perception and modern life, often mean that if we believe something is going to cause us pain, discomfort, or is simply not comfortable, we immediately try to avoid it through internal reasoning or just through inertia. Fear is defined as an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger, pain, or harm. When we combine these 2 definitions, it becomes apparent that procrastination, hesitation, and inertia can often be attributed to the fear of something related to the task. As an experiment, think about the last time you put something off or didn't do something. Did you fear failure, or that the outcome might be criticised or wasn't going to be perfect? Were you worried the process itself was going to cause you physical pain? Was it just the fact that you were more comfortable watching Netflix than the perceived stress of doing the work? Well, luckily, this complex physiological mechanism, with a little bit of mental reframing, can actually be your biggest ally in helping you to get started. Author Stephen Pressfield writes in his book, The War of Art, at some point, the pain of not doing something becomes greater than the pain of actually doing it. When I made the decision to leave my job as a trauma and orthopedic surgeon and go full-time on my corporate training business, it wasn't because I disliked medicine. In fact, quite the opposite, I loved it. The 2 main drivers behind this decision were, firstly, the fear of missing out and what would happen to myself and the business if I didn't quit my job and go full-time on it. Secondly, the mission and the wider impact I could have to society if the business was a success. This reframing of fear from change avoidance to inertia avoidance, combined with a strong underlying mission, gives you both leading and lagging goals to help get you started. This methodology can be applied to pretty much anything, and as with anything, this first point is slightly longer and more explanatory to help you see the matrix and understand why you are procrastinating and displaying avoidance behaviours. As a worked example, the next time you procrastinate, first you recognise and acknowledge this is happening. Then, note down what you're feeling and try to interrogate your internal monologue and belief which is driving your fear. Now we understand that driving fear, let's now move on to the lagging goals and macro mission. A lagging measure tells you if you've achieved your goal, while a lead measure tells you if you're likely to achieve it. While pain and micro goals are leading measures, your macro mission is your long-term focus that everything should align to. The lagging goal of mission is equally as important as understanding and then reframing your fear. Having a purpose and striving for something bigger than yourself helps to frame and align everything that you do. For scaling businesses, a strong company culture aligned to a mission statement can be the difference between success and failure. Your mission must be personal and something which you are passionate about. It needs to be able to focus you, and in moments when you feel like procrastinating or not taking action, to remind you about your why and the reason you need to move outside of your comfort zone. Finding your mission at the macro level can be difficult, and your mission may change as you grow. Author Simon Sinek in his book Start With Why suggests that people can define their purpose by examining their past actions in terms of what you have done, how you did it, and why you did it to help you interrogate your purpose and core values. Reflection on past experiences is key, but the better news is that we live in a time when you can earn a living by doing anything you're passionate about, thanks to services like YouTube, Patreon, Twitch, and startup ecosystems. My personal advice in identifying your own mission is to be as introspective and personal as possible. Really think about what makes you as an individual tick and where you find most enjoyment, and then be as bold as possible in mapping out your mission statement and what you want to do. Motivation is not the solution to procrastination as much as it is part of the journey from procrastination to your micro goals and macro mission through consistency. Immersing yourself in a group of like-minded action takers will certainly encourage and hold you accountable, and seeing an example of someone else making a change or performing an action might give you the external encouragement to do the same. For example, think about seeing an Instagram before and after weight loss picture, but this is very much an external or passive motivator. Motivation really becomes powerful when you have first taken a small step or action and have seen the results of your own actions at a micro level and internalize this. This might be going to the gym for the first time, giving you a feeling of achievement through dopamine release. This needs to be something that you've done which you know works. This mechanism of a trigger followed by a reward leading to a long-term habit is well known in psychology and outlined in books such as Hooked by Nir Eyal. Now we know that motivation really comes after achieving a small internalized personal goal. The next step in getting started is to get yourself an easy and quick micro goal that's achievable. This breaks down your lagging mission goal into smaller bite-sized chunks and helps you to focus on the journey over the outcome. Make your first steps as small as possible. To paraphrase Neil Armstrong, one small step for you, one giant leap for your overall mission. In sports psychology, performance coaches encourage athletes to focus on process over outcome and on what they can control. Be kind to yourself and ensure you celebrate small achievable goals and wins. And have fun rather than considering the task or mission as a chore. Turn your internal monologue from I've got to do something to I get to do something. Equally, if you miss a goal, don't dwell on it. Acknowledge this as part of the process and aim to hit your goal next time. As a practical example, write down something you consider a really easy win in the context of your mission and your goals. If you're struggling, assign a time of 5 minutes to whatever it is you're doing. Read a book for 5 minutes, jog for 5 minutes, meditate for 5 minutes, record a 5-minute YouTube vlog, and then build from there after celebrating your success and micro win. Having seen the previous point, my advice from now on is just do it. Don't give yourself time to think, live in the moment, and silence any inner voice or dialogue. Books like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle expound the virtues of clearing your mind and focusing on what your body is doing and what's going on in the moment over any internal monologue or self-talk. This is also a concept used widely by performance coaches. A practical example you may wish to try is setting yourself a 4-second time limit to take action after a thought or possibility enters your mind. If you contemplate anything other than taking action, you've already lost. Just do it.
Nothing is impossible!
Shia LaBeouf's performance art, the Nike slogan, and Sir Richard Branson's autobiography, Screw It, Let's Do It, all speak to the same concept of being in the moment, ignoring internal and external detractors and negative self-talk, and moving immediately to take action over long-term self-analysis of the situation. My personal tip here is to move your focus onto the taking action part and celebrate this over the outcome. Ask yourself, did I take action in this situation? Regardless of whether the result was good or bad, and celebrate this part of the process over the outcome itself. As we noted at the beginning of this video, once a task has begun, it's much easier to keep it going. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion, as outlined by Newton's first law of motion. Or, if you prefer a quote from Heath Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight, as you know, madness is like gravity.
All it takes is a little push.
We hope you've enjoyed today's video. We're putting some links to other similar videos right here for you. And we'd love to know about any other topics you'd like us to explore. Put them down in the comments and catch you guys next time.